I know some of you were wondering when I was going to do a video about what happened in Chicago this past weekend. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm burnt out. I've been talking about what's going on in Chicago for about 8 years now. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm ignoring what's going on, it's just that I'm burnt out because I talked about the issues that affect the city of Chicago and actually black communities across the country because it's not just Chicago. The only reason why Chicago gets so much press is because who was the most recent president, and they want to, and what they do in a not so subtle way is saying that black folk you had leadership and they've let you down. But the thing is, there's only so much that these men and women who get in front of the cameras can do or allowed to do. It's up to the citizens. Now, I've stated before that if you're not from here, you're not going to understand it. There's certain neighborhoods that have pockets of crime, have always had pockets of crimes way before we were born. And it's in the city hall, downtown Chicago. Mayor Rahm Emanuel was not the first mayor to screw over the citizens of Chicago. But at the same time, it's unfair to place blame solely on Rahm Emanuel. I see a lot of black Chicagoans doing that now. You can go after him about what happened to Laquan McDonald. They tried to cover that up. You can go after him about them shutting schools down. But you have to remember, we had a mayor prior to that, Mayor Richard J. Daley, who, as I refer to as Junior, who was mayor for 20 years and started diverting resources just like his daddy did back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s out of our communities. Black people are homeowners, black people are renters. Black people pay property taxes, they pay sales taxes. Black people work. But when you purposely take resources out of a neighborhood or you purposely put certain police officers who don't live in that neighborhood, don't have a connection to that neighborhood, what are you going to get? Now, I can tell you where it started at, and it started way before I was born. But I can tell you what I remember, what I saw happening in the 80s. Now, when I grew up on the west side of Chicago, there were pockets of the west side that was rough. Nowhere as it is today, but there was pockets. And I remember my parents telling me how it looked when they were children. They told me once the 68 riots happened, what we refer to as the King assassination riots, that's when the city went to overdrive to purposely neglect that part of town. I've talked to people over the years who said hey, a lot of those fires that happened during that time was set by business owners. They didn't want to be in the business in the black neighborhood anymore. It was more lucrative for them to get the insurance money. And then the city promised them newer, bigger buildings, and that didn't happen. You had companies that was in the heart of the west side and parts of the south side either move out of state or move to the suburbs. When I was growing up, you had a bunch of factories, candy factories. You had Leaf Candy, you had Hershey, you had Brock's, all maybe about a 2 mile stretch or so of Cicero Avenue. At a certain time in the summertime, if you drove in a certain part of the west side, you could smell the candy being made. When I grew up, I saw fathers. Matter of fact, I think most of the kids I played with, fathers was at home with them. So I hear people saying the daddies wasn't around. I don't know about y'all, but when I was a kid, I saw fathers at home. Fathers participated with us when we was in the scouts. Our fathers taught us how to cut grass or play baseball, ride our bikes, or showed us how to fix on cars or pump gas or how to respect the women within our community. But unfortunately, you had people who didn't live in the community, people didn't want to see the community thrive, and they didn't want to see a generation X be the ones to go to that next level. They said, we got to stop some of y'all. Some of y'all we ain't going to be able to stop, but there's some that we know we can get in their head. Our brothers and sisters in the housing projects, not all of them, but enough of them fell for it. And when they started shutting them down, and tearing them down, they pushed them into the neighborhood. And then you had the wannabe gangbangers or the wannabe thugs or the wannabe slick motherfuckers get with the ones who were actually about their life, and up the chaos ensued. Then you had people coming up into Chicago, stuck into the United States. And when I talk about stuck into the United States, I'm not just talking about the Hispanic community. But we need to be honest, the Hispanic community is supposed to be the replacement blacks. See, every Republican and Democrat was cool with them coming into major metropolitan areas where blacks live. If you don't believe me, drive around the city and the suburbs where you live at and tell me who you see working in the stores, in the restaurants and whatnot. There was a time when those jobs were blacks. And yet, I know there's some brothers that say we don't want to work those jobs anymore. Some thought they was above it. But you have to crawl before you walk. I remember there were brothers who used to cut grass. I remember there were brothers who used to build stuff in the neighborhoods, had construction business. Even though they didn't get all the breaks like the white establishments, they were still doing good business. But around 1989, 90, you saw it was a dramatic shift. All of a sudden, when you had people who running for office. And I remember my father saying, he said, once a bunch of them get in the office, you can forget about what's going to happen on this side of town. And then it seemed like people of my parents' generation just like they sort of gave up because we wasn't old enough to vote yet. I mean, there was those who was able to vote, during Clinton's first year, but there's still a large number of the Gen Xers that wasn't able to vote. We was a year or two removed from being able to vote. So we saw that the Gen Xers fell in love with Bill Clinton because he played a saxophone at Arsenio Hall. Or he talked a good game. They figured, well, the Gen Xers he was out there marching. They got caught up in those old images of them protesting and shit. And a lot of them were conservative. A lot of them was conservative Democrats or leaned to the right. Or they was, what they call the yuppies of the age. You know that movie with Michael Douglas and Charlie Sheen, Wall Street? That mindset kicked in. So those of the 1960s, they was long gone. And a lot of them in the 1960s were protesting to keep their ass out of Vietnam. They didn't give a damn. There were more black men in Vietnam than anything. It decimated our community even further. But in the 80s, you went and started putting sisters in certain positions, and them sisters had to prove themselves to their bosses. That shut a lot of brothers out of positions. So you had attacks on the black community come from all kinds of angles. And I know they're going to be black women. He blaming black women. No, there's some black women that did help destroy the community. We need to keep it real. We always quick to blame the criminal mind, the pimp brother. We know they exist. We see them. We've seen them for years, and y'all still fall in love with them and lay down with them and give them kids. But the ones who had the jobs, working in the city hall or the state or whatever, they gave brothers a hard-ass time. You had teachers that wasn't even teaching our children. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I had to really be honest with you. I think fourth grade was probably the last time that I remember I seen a bunch of black female teachers actually give a damn about the students, male and female both. I probably had one or two in high school, but that was rare. But I'm talking about when we was in our formative years. Today, you got a bunch of white teachers either trying to fuck your son or daughter. They're not teaching your kids shit because the kids can barely speak, barely write. And I know I'm not a master of English, but I can communicate. I know when somebody's trying to use words to think they're going over my head. Because when I watch the news and see these kids can barely even during slavery, our people didn't talk like that. And I'm being facetious, folks, but you know what I mean. The crime that's going on in Chicago was by design. Anytime a black man say, "Hey, we know what to do," and we said it's tough love, oh, y'all talking about doing this to the kids. That's the problem. Y'all want black men to be the face of the community, but y'all want us to speak up for the community. Y'all don't want us to deal with the issues in the community. If you talk to any black man, whether it be in Chicago, New York, California, any place between, what's the first thing we do? We gotta deal with the criminal element. We can't fix anything else until we deal with the criminal element, because we fight too many damn battles. I told y'all over the last 8 years or so, I said we might have to bring the National Guard Reserve in, because some of these communities, these gangbangers, they got an arsenal that just the police officers don't have. And then again, you have police officers are poorly trained, or police officers are used to just riding around their squad cars who never had to be in a firefight, don't know what it's like to go on long patrols and stuff. When I was in Iraq, without giving too much away, I was on 13, 14-hour patrols. We've been in firefights. We patrolled neighborhoods. We got out and walked the streets. Could have gotten blown up. Some cases, some soldiers did. These police officers ride around in a squad car. They know who's on the corner. They recognize it. And then the laws are lax. They go after the guy who's trying to do right by working. They send you to jail, but the guy committing the crime, they slap him on the wrist. I even said, if y'all don't want the National Guard Reserve, then let those of us who are veterans or former police officers deal with the crime. I guarantee within 2 or 3 months, crime will drop dramatically in our community. Now, that means y'all got to let us deal with these terrorists like we deal with any other terrorists on the globe. These gang bangers, these race soldiers, these are terrorists. They're terrorizing the community. When I was a kid, you used to be able to walk to the store, go to the park, sit on your front porch, run up and down the block, high go seat, run through the sprinklers. Those are things that children used to do. We used to go outside for lunch, outside resource. You can't do that shit now because we let the criminal-minded sit around and terrorize a small group of people. And what happened is they've been able to reproduce. They pass down that destructive behavior. You turn on the news, you see people going to the stores. They didn't got bold. They don't care. They're on camera now. They go in and rob places, and they not just rob people. They killing people in the process. That's like the extra kick in the groin. I'm going to rob you, but I'm also going to kill you and make your family mourn. And let me tell you why they do that. Your family too busy mourning. They ain't focusing on anything else. Especially if that's head of household. I'm sorry. We got to look in the mirror, folks. Black America got to look in the mirror and say, pastors, y'all had y'all chance. We let y'all speak for damn 50-something years. And y'all done is compromised us. Some of you sisters that think y'all got it in, y'all been compromised. You gay brothers and sisters that think y'all trying to be slick and try to take y'all issues and marry to ours, where y'all settled along for 20-something years, going along with a group blaming us for all their problems. No, it's time for black men, straight black men, to take control of their cities or their neighborhoods. But then again, we tried that before. Remember the Detroit 300? Who took them down? It wasn't white folk. It was black women. It's too rough. They go after the wrong people. Remember that? How many videos have we seen where fathers have disciplined their kids and people say, yeah, that was just too much. You shouldn't have did it. And I guarantee you they were from single parent households. We need to keep it real. We need to keep it honest. The work ethic in our community sucks. These kids don't know how to answer applications. They send their mama or their grandma or their auntie, give me an application, instead of coming in and asking, excuse me, sir or ma'am, are you hiring? Even if you don't have a white shirt or a tie or a nice dress, you can go in with your shirt in your pants pulled up, with your hair combed, your teeth brushed, your face washed, don't got fucking snot in your eyes and shit. I mean, when I was a manager, they would come in, hey man, you hired? First of all, I'm not your man. You call me sir or mister. Man, you hired, man. How much you pay? And at that time, I think minimum wage it was about what, $5.25 at the most, maybe $5.50. It's been a while. Man, there ain't no money. You don't have no job experience. Well, man, I can't work. Well, I'm not going to hire you. I remember when I was working, minimum wage is at $4.25 working. And those who are a few years older than me, maybe even by a decade, who was part of the Gen Xers, they was making less than that. But we was proud that was our money. When I got my first paycheck, I thought I was on top of the world. I paid for my junior prom. I paid for my senior prom. I wanted to go out to the movies. I wanted to buy the clothes I want. Because I learned how to save money. I learned from my parents. Don't run out and buy the most expensive shit. Save your money. You might hit a sale. Or there's other areas where the prices may be dramatically different. There's a lot of things that we can do in our community, but we won't do it. Or we're not allowed to do it. Because we let a criminal element run roughshod. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Every time I hear about a police shooting, I don't automatically assume it's a race thing. Because a lot of these police shootings, and I'm not saying that black police officers cannot be corrupted by racism. But a lot of times, these young men and women, they argue with cops. When we was a kid, we was told, don't argue with the police officer. They in charge. They got a gun on them. They can shoot you dead. If you know you ain't do that, you stand there. If they berate you, you just keep your mouth shut. You live for another day. These motherfuckers want to argue. Man, you can't tell what to do. I know my. Stop with that shit. If they gonna give you a fucking ticket, take the ticket. If they just gonna pet you down, let them pet you down. When you take out running, you're giving them an excuse. Oh, he looked like he had a gun. He made a sudden movement. And then some of these people out here are shooting at the police. And we gotta be honest about that. We got people in our own neighborhoods that terrorizing us. And those motherfuckers that do that, they know that imaginary line not to cross. It's a couple of suburbs near the west side that amazes me to this day, the night and day difference. If anybody ever travel on the west side and go down Austin Boulevard, you got, excuse me, you got Oak Park, Cicero, Berwyn. Then if you go up north, even if it's in part of the city, you can tell there's a large number of Hispanic and white with a mixture of black. And the crime don't fuck with the area as much. But you cross the other side up into the city, on the west side, parts that used to look real nice, people getting shot up and down, robbed. I'm like, why aren't y'all crossing? Oh, you know why? Because y'all know the cops and them, they ain't gonna play with y'all. They gonna shoot you dead. I see a dude, he say, man, I ain't fucking around Oak Park, man. Them cops. This Oak Park is a village. It's not even it's small. I mean, they don't have the police department in the city of Chicago got. They don't have the equipment that the Chicago police got. But motherfuckers, they might, every now and then you might hear something about going on Oak Park. But for the most part, no. Excuse me. Brothers and sisters, they damn sure go in Cicero fucking around. Even though Cicero's not like it was back when our parents was kids, when it was a predominantly white in town, it's not predominantly Hispanic. There's still some whites up in there. You got maybe a handful of blacks in there, but it's predominantly Hispanic. Because them Hispanics, oh, what you doing over here, Holmes? Oh, we fuck you up. You can go back over across Cicero. Oh, don't even get me started about North Riverside or Berwyn. It seems like we've been programmed to destroy your own shit. And then we got people, well, you know, the reason why they wasn't supposed, that's bullshit. There are a lot of people who were never exposed and destroy their communities. Our grandparents, great-grandparents were basically slaves. Whether you call them sharecroppers or whatever you want to call them, they were slaves. They had the yes sir, no sir. They couldn't do anything unless they got permission from somebody. And they didn't terrorize their own communities. Those of us who are born from 1965 up to this point have no fucking excuse. I mean, we do have some excuses, but that shouldn't be a reason for us to destroy our own communities and constantly be at each other's throat. You play into the hands of white supremacy. You play into the hands of opportunists. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I drive into the city, I got my head on a swivel. Motherfuckers are carjacking people, young kids for shits and giggles. And they don't care who they hurt in the process. This is why some people are now shooting these kids dead. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Ever since that George Zimmerman thing, it's been blurred. Because you have a criminal element, you have an innocent element. There are people that we should have been marching for, we didn't march for. And then we marched for the criminal. And I'm like, you do know that dude and that chick, they was living that life. You know it. Well, we got to stand around. Well, enough is enough with the police. But what about enough is enough with the self-hate in our community? You see it out here on social media. You got people fighting in the streets like animals. Instead of just saying, yo, bro, sis, I disagree with you. You know what? You got your opinion. I got my opinion. Well, okay, we go our separate ways. Nah, y'all want to fight. Y'all want to cut people. Y'all want to shoot people. Y'all want to demean people. Y'all want people to submit. But here it is. You got race soldiers coming to our communities. A lot of these crimes are not committed by black folk. Let's get that straight too. You got people coming to our community shooting our people dead. Our girls are going missing. Our boys are being murdered. And our community started saying, yo, man, we need to get on the same page. What do? We up and down, stop going at each other more because we're afraid. Look what Jordan Zimmerman did. He killed Trayvon Martin. And ever since he got off, he's been bragging about it. All the black gangs in Florida. You mean tell me y'all ain't never said, well, we got to go deal with Jordan Zimmerman and do the same thing with any other shooting? We don't know what you're talking about. Y'all get a code of silence. Well, y'all don't have a code of silence then? Or y'all afraid? See, a lot of us have a slave mind. We don't realize that been passed on to generations. And then y'all want brothers that y'all dismissed or called nerds or geeks or wimps, or the sisters that pass by. Y'all want us to come in and fix everything when y'all can benefit from it. And then if y'all don't benefit, y'all see that we went on about our business. Y'all try to shame us. You ain't really down. You ain't really black. You supposed to be down. We told y'all what you need to be doing, but y'all won't listen. Those and if y'all listen to the news, a lot of those people that got shot were at black parties trying to clean the communities up, or was a part of funerals. Gangbangers got so bold now they get on expressways firing at people now. They don't care who they hit, as long as they able to shoot. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. This is something that we as Americans or people in general, when you hold a weapon and then fire a weapon, you get arrogant. It's a sense of power. You know, right then and there, you can show somebody life. You can make them submit. You can kill, do everything you want with them. That's power. So you give guns to a 12-year-old, 13-year-old boy or girl, or a 17-year-old, and once they taste that power, that first kill, or they make somebody cry, beg for their life, they get arrogant. The same thing that's going on in these foreign countries that we talking about. We can't let them come over to America and do this, but y'all cool with it going on in our community. It's funny, y'all didn't have no problem sending us to Iraq and Afghanistan to help those people, but here in the United States, you got people crying like we need help, we need aid. Back in the day, there were a ton of brothers saying, yo, we need to get a hold of this. If not, we're going to have problems. I told y'all way before Trayvon Martin was murdered, I said, yo, this is going to get worse before it gets better. And people are like, man, Harvey, you wrong. You want them Negroes. You want the popos. You want them. No. I wish that we could police our own communities. We won't need the police officers that we suspect are race soldiers to come in. I wouldn't have to suggest that the National Guard or Reserve come in and help patrol communities. I wouldn't do that. We can be able to control our own communities. But the problem is, you got brother against brother now. We too busy cutting each other's throat. We don't even trust each other anymore. So now, those who have a criminal mind, they run roughshod and they figure to do whatever the hell they want. You see right here, buildings sit right here. A building sit right there. Let me tell you how long you know a building sit right here. You see right, if you look at this where it says furniture made to order, phone HEMLOCK 4 dash. That's how you do the telephones back in the day. They ain't did shit like that since the early 70s, or at least late 60s. So they tell you there was a building there for years. They tore it down. That could have been a building that somebody lived in. That could have been a building where a business was at. Then you see the building right here, it's boarded up. Other communities, they have found a business or people able to live in. Then you see this vacant lot right here. They do this shit in our communities, and we just allow it. Well, they're gonna build something there. They can build. All they can do is build another strip mall or some cheap housing, if that. There's a lot of things that are done in our community that are not done in other communities. We keep talking about jobs and all that stuff. Who want to open a business in a neighborhood where gunshots are being fired, or people don't want to work, or they want to argue with the bosses, come to work, or they want to negotiate prices in black establishments and stuff. I don't see no black person going into a foreigner saying, "Hey man, that's too much money for that." Y'all still spend your money, but going to a black establishment, man, that's too much money, man. Why you gotta pay that? We do each other dirty. And you want other people to come in and help fix our problems, or we want the black folk that we alienated or attacked for no reason, who sat back and predicted and warned that a lot of this crap is going to come to fruition. A lot of our people don't vote. Vote don't mean anything. Yeah, it don't mean nothing if you don't stay on the politicians or question what they're doing. I was telling friends and family who still living in Chicago, I said, don't y'all question y'all aldermen about where the money they got? I forget what they call it. Basically, it's they get a budget. I can't think of the technical name right now. It's escaping me right now. They have a budget. This ward is allocated so many dollars based on the property taxes in that area, right? Street repair, light repair, sidewalk repair, alley repair, garbage cans, all that stuff. You know, businesses, who's opening their business in our community. Business should sign some type of agreement that they had to invest not just in the store or the facade, but somewhere in the community. How many of y'all saying, okay, we got parks in our community. We don't want our kids just to focus on football and basketball, but we got baseball, or we got these field houses that are not being used like they used to anymore. Or we can go get one of these apartment buildings and convert them into a resource center where they learn about computers, but they need resources. We don't do that. But in other communities, they're like, huh, you want to set a business up in here? This is what you got to do. And if you don't, you ain't coming up in here. Oh, we don't need no more liquor stores here. We don't need no more goddamn gas stations in here where y'all gonna turn around and sell t-shirts and gym shoes and all this other shit instead of just selling gas and snacks. We don't need all that. If you own a building, you got to maintain that building. If you can't, you sell that building or you let somebody manage it who can. We don't do that. We allowed this to happen. And the thing is, right now, we have a chance to clean it up. But we let politicians play games. I'm sorry. The people who've been in office longer than 5 years, y'all had your chance. Now it's time for a new group to come in. But at the same time, we got to come to some agreement as a people. Even if you don't live in the city limits anymore, you do have a say. Because you got that element coming out to the burbs, or you got to travel into the cities. Either way, it is touching you, whether you believe it or not. And if you're a law-abiding citizen, go get your firearm card. Go take a cover concealment class. Because if the police ain't doing what they supposed to do, and some young punk, male or female, run up on you, you deal with it accordingly. Since Apple don't want to put or invest in our community, stop buying their product. If Samsung, stop buying their product. We keep supporting companies and entities that don't give a damn about us. Here it is, black folks had black press and stuff. Did NBC or ABC or CBS or any of these other networks across the country partner with black publications? No, they make sure they partner with Hispanic publications and Asians, and you sitting like, what the fuck? Excuse me, folks. I'm sorry, cough fit. But but when you turn around, it's our culture. All the good in the black community is being mass market. Everybody making profit off us. All the negative being just concentrated in the heart of the so-called inner city. And I hate that term inner city. That's why I said so-called. Within the city, because they trying to make it like it's two cities. City is a city to me. I don't care if it's downtown or the north side or the west side, I say it's a city. Every time you drive down, take up a brand new building. They fixing roads that don't even need to be fixed anymore. They talk about investing $10 million on the Chicago River Boardwalk. $10 million can be infrastructure in the community. The city can go in and buy them vacant homes or them vacant lots and build new affordable housing. And they can manage, but then again, you don't want the city to do it. Nah, you're going to probably have some private investors do that shit. But you got to watch them. Excuse me. And let me say this, to those who don't live in Chicago, please get your information before y'all stop buying what you see on the TV. Because a lot of this shit, y'all be seeing black faces, but a lot of times there don't be black folks committing these crimes. A lot of times that's stock footage. A lot of times blacks are victims of people coming into the community doing shit and running out. You have to remember, we're not the only ones with brown skin in America now. You have to remember, there are people that go out and buy them lifelike masks and pretend like they black. Now, my thing is to those of us in Black America, we're going to make some tough decisions. If you got a group of black male and female, young or old, that want to live by the sword, they shall die by the sword. You want to terrorize your community. You want to bring down property values. You want to trap. You want to make people trapped in their own homes, their own neighborhoods. You don't deserve to walk around same-minded people. I'm sorry, we can't. Everybody was bitching about 9/11. We gotta go get them terrorists, but it's terrorists here in the United States. Here it is. You got the FBI, the CIA, all these organizations dedicated to weeding out terrorists, but we got homegrown terrorists, and that's what we should call them. These dudes ain't gangsters. The gangsters were smart. We ain't gonna let nobody come into our neighborhoods. We're gonna put money back in the neighborhoods, plant flowers, put grass down, invest the money. We're doing it for selfish reasons. I got me some new kicks. I got me a new rim. I got me new speakers. I gotta take my female out to Red Lobster. Oh yeah, I gave my main boy man some pussy tonight. That's how some of us think. And then we get mad when people turn the mirror back in our face and this is what y'all doing. Y'all actually got mad at Bill Cosby for calling out the questionable ass behavior that we see every night on the evening news. He shouldn't be talking about us like that in public. But every night you see the news got cameras in your face and y'all, they don't respect y'all. When they see y'all crying or slobbing, the camera stay focused on y'all. They got memes of black people on social media making mockery of our pain. But y'all get mad at somebody from keeping it real, telling you, hey man, I wouldn't do this. This is a better way. Here it is, we don't even defend our community from outsiders, but we attack those within. Because you think that brother and sister gonna do better than you. Well, they just don't know. Okay, well, they about to get a life lesson. If I was over the prisons, all them damn visits, fuck no. Yeah, there gonna be some innocent people in there, but guess what? You got enough people and lawyers to weed it out, because the lawyers are putting innocent people in jail too now. But all that lifting weights, TVs and shit, nah, fuck no. And I'm gonna tell you something. In prison, they want black men to go in there and have sex with other black men. We was in the army. We didn't do nothing. We was in base training. We wasn't around females, and you see no dudes crawling up in bed with each other. From what I hear, they don't want you to masturbate in prison, but they cool with you having sex with others. Something ain't right about that. That's by design, folks. Stop letting other people manipulate you. But at the same time, stop bitching and moaning about what the man is doing, and we ain't looking in the mirror and saying, what are we doing? We can't blame all this on racism. We know that racism started this. We know racism play a part in it. But at some point, we got to say, you know what, I ain't falling for this shit. I ain't killing another brother or sister. I ain't selling that poison. I had to go out and rob somebody who worked their ass off to get just this. We're on this planet for a short period of time. We might as well live in harmony if you really want to live in harmony. If you want to go shoot something up, go to recruit and say, I want to join the military. See how in Washington you go in the military. They'll put you someplace where you want to get shot at every day. See, y'all motherfuckers like shooting that shit people they can't shoot back. But I guarantee you, if the wrong white person get killed and start bitching, or you get that politician that said we're gonna put these niggas in check, send the National Guard in without your input, then y'all gonna be crying. At least this way, the way I said, why don't we suggest bringing them in aid in the community? But you got the superintendent in the middle like, no, that should tell you something right there. And I want nobody to talk about optics. It's past embarrassing what's going on in Chicago and other parts of the country. The Chicago that we see advertised on TV and shit, that's not the Chicago I know. Or knew, I should say. The other day, a acquaintance of mine wanted to go hang out, wanted to go drive into the city, wanted to go, drive around the lakefront. And I'm like, yeah, I would love to, but I can't take that risk. Why? Because I said the first person to walk up to me pointing the gun, I'm going to kill him. And right now I like to keep everything peaceful and calm right now. Because they not just in the west side, so they venture out to the downtown area. Now, downtown usually got police everywhere. Undercover cops, cops on foot patrol, mounted police, cops on bicycles and shit. But just that one moment when they ain't paying attention, I'm sorry, because I'm not trying to wound. I'm not trying to negotiate. I'm going to put you 6 feet under. And your mama and daddy can be on TV crying about Tyrone was a good boy. Tyrone walked up and fucked the wrong person. I'm sorry that I feel that way now because I've seen too many of these criminals get away with just terrorizing, doing shit. Yesterday, I'm watching news. I see 2 black females go in and take some igloo bags and stuff, and they face all the camera. They don't care now. They done got bold. Instead of going out there working and shit, you stealing, and all you doing is make it harder for the next person. This is why people don't want businesses around us. All them niggas gonna do is gonna go steal, and every black person doesn't steal. And then some of them ain't even from the community. You got a lot of foreign-born blacks that come over here and cause disruptions. See, I'm sorry. I'm tired of seeing the pastor stand behind the mayor and the superintendent. I'm tired of seeing the alderman. Y'all had y'all chance. I'm tired of talking about coalitions because it seems like our community get worse and worse. And these young brothers and sisters, they need a deterrent. I'm telling you right now, bring the National Guard and Reserve in, or let those of us who are veterans of law enforcement military go in and let us deal with it. And when I mean deal with it, treat them as they are enemy combatants. And watch the crime drop overnight. People be too damn spooked. Y'all done let this shit fester for 20-something years, and now everybody's paying for it. Now police officers who have a racist agenda are hiding. I was in fear of my life. I was in fear of my life. When I think about Tamir Rice, he was doing something that little boys have done for years. He got shot dead. There was no outrage in the black community. But you got motherfuckers that you know are suspect criminal. Man, we got a march and such. Ray was... We backwards as fuck. And we know racism exists. You ain't always got to say it. Because they already got their mouth fixed. You guys are always saying racism. No. You know what you do? You go, if you're going to march, you march your way into a bank, open an account. When you get paid, okay, Friday night, I'm going to stay home and watch the TV. I ain't going to the movies. Oh, yeah, I pay my cell phone bill, but I ain't going to get all these fucking apps. I'm not going to the club. I'm not going to buy the expensive-ass liquor. I'm not going to buy these expensive-ass cheap clothes. It's time for us as a people to get our shit together. And those of us in the community who are strong-willed, who know what needs to be done, stop giving cover to people who don't give a damn. Stop trying to save everybody. You can't save every one of our people. There's some people who are lost, and they're always going to be lost. It's sad that I've gotten to that point, but every time I turn on the TV, whether it be here or abroad, I'm like, why are we doing this shit? Why are we saying this dumb shit? And there's some of y'all, no snitching. Y'all the entertainers who live in gated communities who go on trips across the globe tell you not to snitch. But when some go down their community, they call the po-pos. You need to get that nigga out of here. What are you going up in here for? Y'all don't get it. Some of y'all don't get it. Y'all talk about people who read comics and the science fiction are challenged by reality. A lot of y'all are challenged. Dudes walk around with stacks of money. This how I roll. Yeah, that's when your ass get robbed and you be like, see, you brought on yourself. Instead of investing your money in something that's tangible, y'all spending money on shit that's only fleeting. So like I said, if we don't want to get our shit in order, we can't blame nobody else anymore. At some point, somebody got to say enough is enough. So I took my hat to LeBron James for the open up his school. He said, I want to give back to my community. And I'm going to tell you, Umar Johnson tried it, but you had people in our community hating on him. But the only reason why LeBron James getting it past because he's a big name. But there are a lot of brothers and sisters that want to come back into the community and reinvest and build. But you know what? It's that small percentage that just want to just they're hell bent on death and destruction. There's a reason why I don't always do videos about some police shooting, because I sit there like something don't smell right. And usually when I point it out, y'all come out, damn dude, you said it, because I'm sitting there and I'm observing. Like when it happened to Trayvon Martin, we knew he was assassinated by George Zimmerman. Rakia Boyd, Renisha McBride, John Crawford, Tamir Rice, Laquan McDonald. Yeah, let's go on. We know when it's bad policing. But it also, some of the things our brothers and sisters do, like, why does this dude run? Stand there, don't run. I'm afraid. Your mom and daddy didn't tell you, or your guardian didn't tell you how to deal with the police. Believe me, I've had police officers put guns in my head. I could have barely got my brains blown out right then and there. But I was like, I ain't giving them no action that way. He made them certain moves. He ran. No. They're going to have to explain why he's sitting in his car or he's standing right in front of you. Why, you know. With today's technology, they know they got a bogus police department. But if you don't vote, you got these prosecutors and these state's attorneys, whether they, and a lot of them are Democrat, have played us. Stop letting these politicians manipulate you. Basically, what I'm saying through all this is think. That's basically what I'm just saying. Think. Think. Think.